Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. John Carroll University is now accepting applications for its Spiritual Wellness and Counseling Graduate Certificate Program. Associate Professor Dr. Cecile Brennan is the program coordinator. She's here to tell us more about this new program at John Carroll University. And later on, we'll hear from Christian Boone and his aunt, Monica Green. They'll talk about Christian's experience in overcoming adversities while growing up. Quite a story, I will tell you that. And later on the program after that, Brian Jones and Naima O'Neill will talk about their work educating individuals, especially young people, about HIV and AIDS. Good morning, I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with Dr. Cecile Brennan, Associate Professor at John Carroll University, Associate Professor of Counseling.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah. Tell me about this program at John Carroll University, which is located, by the way, in University Heights in suburban Cleveland. This program, the new certificate program focusing on spiritual wellness and counseling. What's all that mean?
Well, let me tell you, what it means is we're very interested in seeing that mental health, medical, and pastoral care professionals work together to provide integrated services for people who come in. All too often, they don't communicate with one another. They're not aware or even respectful of what one another is doing. And this program serves that need to bring those people together to form a team to provide services.
Because you see the need for everybody to be on the same page when we're talking about spiritual wellness and counseling.
Exactly. We see the need for them to be on the same page, and the people who go and seek services would like to know that their professional is respective of their spiritual tradition.
Tell me about that. What is spiritual wellness? How would you describe that?
Well, that's an excellent question, and honestly, that's one of the main focuses of our first class. But spiritual wellness is feeling that your life has purpose, feeling that your life is connected to something beyond the day-to-day struggles, whether it be water in your basement or whether it be another issue you're confronting.
Yeah.
That's spiritual wellness.
Yeah, because it does lay heavy on you. Sometimes you want to be able to deal with all of these issues, like the water in the basement, which was in my basement during the recent storm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to turn your attention to something beyond the immediate moment.
Yeah. Now, at John Carroll University, how does this help people in their careers, embracing the spiritual wellness and counseling program?
Well, that's a great question. So this program serves active professionals as well as students who are either in the mental health training programs, medical or pastoral care theology programs. So it serves both the professional and the student who's getting educated, and it helps them because if they complete the certificate program, they have something else that is going to be on their resume that they can present to employers and say, I'm ready to be a member of an integrated team. And the medical field is moving more and more in this direction towards integrated treatment.
So, you know, when I go to my doctor, it's not just a physical thing that the doctor ought to be looking at. He needs to be getting into my mind, finding out what's going on up here.
Absolutely, because we've discovered that many medical concerns really have a psychological and I might even say spiritual basis. So having someone in that primary care physician's office who's aware of that, who's able to bring those disciplines together, that is going to make a very valuable contribution to that office.
Now, who goes to these classes and what's the cost?
Well, that's a great question. So let me start with who goes to those classes. We've operated two different courses so far. So we'll be starting our third course in the fall, and we would love to hear from people out there who are interested in joining us for the fall. We have had so far nurses, an attorney, counseling students, youth ministers, pastoral care folks. So we really have had a cross-section from the mental health, medical, and pastoral care world. Now, I know the second part of your question was cost, and I'm going to punt on that a little bit because it depends on whether you're taking the course for graduate credit, for non-credit, for CEUs. So there would be different costs for each one of those categories.
So somebody who may be interested in this, that once they start talking to John Carroll University, they will see a program that fits their needs.
Exactly.
Hand in glove. You want it to fit their specific needs.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. How long have you been dealing with this now at John Carroll University?
So this will just be the third semester that we're offering courses in the program, so it's a new program, and that makes it even more exciting, sort of getting in there. We're working at tailoring it to the folks who show up, so we're very flexible for adult learners, for what they need, for the time that it ought to be offered. And we're looking at going forward with it in that way where we remain responsive to who our students are.
Let me put a phone number on the screen if we have not already done so. I know the control room has that number. It is 216-397-4284, 216-397-4284, or you can go to the website there. You see at the bottom, jcu.edu/graduate, jcu.edu/graduate, John Carroll University, which has been for many, many, many decades in University Heights, right there, right off of Warrensville Center Road.
That's correct.
If memory serves me correct.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Cecile Brennan. This encourages you when you've got more people getting involved in this coursework, in this classwork.
Yes, absolutely. And we're very excited to get more people involved.
Because the bottom line is to be sound spiritually, to have that strong spiritual base.
Spiritual, emotional, and physical, to bring all three of those domains together.
If we can put all of that together, then we can build. That's a strong foundation to build on.
Absolutely. And I just want to add that, to my knowledge, we are the only program in the country that is operating in exactly this way, seeking to bring in people from the community as well as attract graduate students.
Thank you for what you do. Dr. Cecile Brennan, Associate Professor of Counseling at John Carroll University. Many
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being on the broadcast.
Thank
I'm
you.
certain people will be calling you.
I hope so.
Talking about this. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a break in just a moment, but we will, on the other side of the commercial, a local student shares his story of overcoming adversity. Quite a story, too. I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us today. Christian Boone is headed to Fisk University this year. He and his aunt, Monica Green, are here to share Christian's story of overcoming personal adversities and accomplishing one's goals. Good to see you, Christian Boone.
You too.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
17, and
Yes.
you just got out of high school, and what high school?
St. Ignatius.
Yeah,
The
and now
St.
you're on the way to Fisk University?
I am.
In Tennessee to
Yeah.
study what?
Biology.
Okay, you've got quite a story to tell, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. Monica, you're his aunt.
Yes.
Your nephew has had to overcome some heavy, heavy, heavy adversities. Give me just a little bit of that story.
Well, when he was born, about 3 months after he was born, his father was wrongfully convicted of a crime. He actually was in Cleveland when the crime was committed, and it was in Columbus, and so he ended up getting a prison term for 30 years.
And where is Dad now?
His dad is in prison right now. We're in the process of working on getting him clemency, but he's been in prison the entire time. So at that moment, we all had to just kick in and become a united family to try to make sure that Christian was able to have the best life
You're
possible.
working on getting Dad out of prison because you think he was wrongfully committed?
Yes, well, actually, the Innocent Project even said that he was wrongfully committed, but because there's no DNA involved, there's nothing that they could do. So we're working hard to get him out as we speak.
I'm very much familiar with that Innocence Project, which is just a wonderful project of getting men who've been unjustly convicted out of prison. Christian, how did that impact your life? Your dad being gone. Well, during your life.
It impacted me hard, but as she said, my family came together and raised it takes a village to raise a child, so they came together and raised me as a fine young man. I thank them.
What do you hold on to give you the strength to hold on to graduate from St. Ignatius High School and be bound for Fisk University?
Well, just not being average. I want to be the best. I don't mean to sound cocky, but just being better than the next person, the average person, and striving to do my best at everything I do.
That's not talking cocky. Believe me, that's talking strength.
Yeah.
And we have to, you want to build on that. I mean, and be the very best that you can be, no matter what the other folks are doing around you. You've got to do what's right.
Right.
That's what you've tried to teach this young man, your nephew?
Absolutely. Every chance I get, I try to give Christian a bit of wisdom and knowledge, and he's actually a born winner, so it's not hard. I would say, and I told a young lady yesterday, and I'm not saying this because he's my nephew, he's one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life, and he has such an inner strength and motivation to want to win, and so it makes it easy to motivate someone who wants it anyway.
You have been one of those people who have kept his life on track while his father has been incarcerated, as you're trying to get the Innocence Project to get him out, but you have kept Christian on track.
Absolutely. I'm a Facebook stalker.
Say that again?
I'm a Facebook stalker.
Okay.
IG stalker, yeah, I'm that's all over the place. So yes, absolutely, I've been right there.
Tell us what you want to study, Christian.
I want to study biology and aspirations of becoming an orthodontist. So, like, I'm going to FIS, as you said, and they have a program with Meharry Medical College.
Yeah.
So I want to get in that program and then become a dentist.
What keeps you going?
Just like I said, not being average. There's a lot of people in my family who are not as successful as I want to be. So I just look at them and take their good qualities, but I want to be better.
But you can be would you be the first generation to go to college in your family?
No, my mom went to college.
Your mom went to college?
Yes,
Well,
and my aunt went to college.
And your aunt went to college. Well, you can build on that.
Yes.
Yeah, you've had to do some quick study and some quick learning for your 17 years of life.
Yes.
Dealing with some heavy emotional things. Yeah. You maintain a relationship with your dad?
Yes, to this day. I still talk to him. I visit him occasionally. Also.
What does he say about where you're bound?
He actually inspires me. Also, he's like he changed his life around. He's a Rastafarian, so he tells me like he just inspired me. Tell me to stay true to myself, and he tries to get me to stop eating like pork and stuff because I stay with the bacon.
So you're trying to eat healthy and do healthy things.
Yes, and be more positive. And
when do you start at Fisk University?
next week. I leave on the 8th, next Friday. So 7 days.
Well, we wish you well.
Thank you.
And you're looking at going into orthodontia work, dentistry work, and that kind of thing. You want to be in the medical and the health fields.
Yes.
When did you know that you wanted to do that?
I say back when I was a little kid. My teeth are kind of little, and I used to get teased for it. So I always thought that stood out. So I always used to pull out like my little brother and sister's teeth when they had a loose tooth.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not be a dentist?
Monica, what do you learn from your nephew?
I learned that if you really want something, it's possible. A lot of times looking at today's youth and the different situations that they have, I use Christian as an example because if he's able to pull through and win, as I believe he has, I always use him as an example to say, if you really want it, you can do it.
I should add that there is a fund to help Christian raise money for his tuition at Fisk University, and you can get more information on that if you go to gofundme.com/992LUC. You see it right at the bottom. I want you to write that down, gofundme.com/992LUC. And this is, we can raise some money to help you with college tuition and all the expenses of going to college.
Yes, thank
but you're quite a young man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You are an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you.
17 years old, and you are seem very much focused. Well, God bless you, son.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to raise some money. I want people to make a phone call or certainly to go to that website and make a contribution. God bless you, son.
God bless you, too. I appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you, too. And Monica Green, God bless you, too.
Bless you, too.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
Monica
you.
Green and Christian Boone, nephew and aunt, for being on the broadcast. Quite a story, quite a story. I'll be back with another story, too, educating young people about HIV and AIDS back in a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Glad to have you with us as always. The Campaign to End AIDS hosts a national summit in Cleveland in October. HIV/AIDS advocates Brian Jones and Naima O'Neill will tell us more about the event and the organization's mission to educate individuals about HIV and AIDS. Good to have you with us,
Thank
Brian
you.
Jones and Naima
Thank you
O'Neill.
very much.
Yeah. Share with us the mission of the campaign to end AIDS, Brian.
Well, the Campaign to End AIDS is an international organization that works to improve the lives of people living with HIV and AIDS, and not just that, but the state of AIDS, not just here, but abroad. We have a diverse coalition of HIV negative and positive people working from a grassroots perspective to affect change with HIV and AIDS.
Naima, what motivated you to become involved in this campaign?
Well, I am someone who is actually living with HIV. So part of it is self-motivating myself to be an advocate for self-care, but also to help people who can't have a voice, who can't be on TV or to be vocal about living with HIV. I'm a social worker, and I feel that that's part of my job, to advocate and to help people to live and to be productive.
So you feel you're speaking for thousands of people out there whose
Yes, I am.
voices may not be heard on Kaleidoscope or any other way here. We're seeing an increasing number of HIV and AIDS in young people, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Actually, the Campaign to End AIDS, we also have a component of young advocates under 30 who work to affect change. We deal with such issues such as social justice issues, such as HIV criminalization laws, removing stigma. We also push an initiative, housing as prevention, and that's understanding that housing, safe and stable housing for people living with HIV and AIDS is very important to treatment and also in prevention, because what we're seeing is some of the elements that take place are social drivers of people becoming infected, are people who are homeless, lack of education, poverty. So these social drivers are things that fuel the epidemic, and we have a new initiative called Ending AIDS by 2025, and that's going to be the overarching theme of our Advocacy Leadership Summit.
You're going to be talking about this at the summit that Brian just mentioned. Let's give this summit a good plug here. It's the National Advocacy Leadership Summit. It's going to be at the Airport Sheraton Hotel on October the 15th through the 19th.
Correct.
What do you want people to take away from once they attend this summit? And who can attend this summit?
Anyone can actually apply to attend the summit. You can go online, and there's an application process that you fill out and you turn in. The conference is actually free. You just have to get your travel arrangements to get to the summit. But once you get there, your meals and your lodging is free. So what I think people should take away, because they're coming from other country or other states and actually out of the country, is to be able to go home to your own community and create an advocacy program to deal with the issues that you have in your area, to help fuel and get rid of stigma around HIV and AIDS, to deal with criminalization issues in your state, and to also walk away with that you can advocate, you can fight, and you can have a voice in your community.
We can make some headway in this dreaded disease. Certainly by 2025, we're trying to eradicate this whole thing, which has been with us now for the last 30 years or 35 years, something like that. Let me put a website and a phone number on the screen, and that website is c2ea.org. You see it down at the bottom there, c2ea.org, or you can make a phone call in the 216 area code to 256-8655 on get more information on everything we're talking about. But once again, the National Advocacy Leadership Summit is going to be at the Airport Sheraton Hotel in Cleveland, October the 15th through the 19th. And if you go online there, you can get more information on how to register and all of that. We saw this Malaysian airplane that was shot down in Ukraine. It was filled with a lot of people who were headed for an AIDS summit, some of the great minds. So we've got to continue, although they're gone, we've got to continue the work that they have been working on, right, Brian?
Correct, and that's what the summit is. It's bringing C2EA to Cleveland. We'll be out into the city. We're going to have a faith-based forum on Thursday, inviting the faith-based community to engage them in the conversation. Also on Friday, we're going to have a rally downtown dealing with HIV criminalization, and we're also going to be going over to Garden Valley to do outreach and organizing there. So we're going to get out into the city and make some noise when it comes to HIV and AIDS and try to educate. Some people can just drop in. Feel free to drop in if you don't feel like registering. We want people to walk away. Actually, we want everyone to walk away HIV positive. Not from a blood test, but from a perspective.
But from a perspective, positive
about
that
eradicating the
we
virus.
can fix this problem.
Right.
We're thinking HIV positive up here, mentally positive. Many thanks, Brian. Brian Jones, an advocate for Campaign to End AIDS, and Naima O'Neill, an advocate for the Campaign to End AIDS. Thank you so much for being on the broadcast.
Thank you.
We wish you well. We wish all of us well in this campaign. I'm going to take a break in just a moment. The Morning Exchange segment with Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League. This is the Morning Exchange segment. That means Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland is here to give us a commentary and give us her thoughts on whatever's going on.
Hi, Leon. How are you?
I'm fine, and you're doing well, too.
Doing well, too. Just returning from the National Urban League Conference in Cincinnati that happened a couple of weeks ago. And first chance we've had to chat about that, but I'm just so honored and so humbled to have received the Women of Power and Influence Award, to be one of the awardees there at the luncheon at the conference. And among the other women who were honored included our own State Senator Nina Turner. Right. She was one of our awardees, and Dr. Robin Smith, a noted psychologist and author, as well as Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice, who is the president of the Morehouse School of Medicine. I sat right next to her on that day, and it was just an amazing, and there were some other women, but I know we have a short time, but just, it was an amazing time, and to be recognized among your peers there at the National Conference because of the turnaround strategies that we've employed here with the Cleveland affiliate just really meant a lot.
Well, let me give you my congratulations for the Women of Power Award. Another award for the illustrious and wonderful and talented Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League. That's a testimony to the work that you and the organization Urban League have been doing over the last several
Exactly,
years.
and I certainly accept it on behalf of the organization. And you know, one of the things that it made me think about it is everybody said, what a hard job you took on. I wouldn't have done that. And I said, you know, but if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to learn how to become a turnaround strategist.
Yeah, well, that's what you are, because you certainly turned it around. That's going to do it for us. We appreciate you. And we appreciate you watching. I'm Leon Bibb for Marsha Maccabee. Take care and be well.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.